And they're going to throw Mallet. Oh, he's got a man wide open. He totally fooled the Georgia defense. Chris Gregg going to have a sandwich, going to walk in.
Football! Deep left field! Out of here!
Got to drive it, Brad. You got to drive it. Madden for maybe the win.
Now closing in on Emmitt Smith, of all people, in terms of all-time rushers in the SEC. Looking to pass it. He's thrown 4 touchdowns. Up for grabs, and there's number 5.
All right, here we are, episode 6 of the Arkansas Takes podcast. We're going to go over week 1. Arkansas gets a win over Alabama A&M 52-7. Clean after the first drive, which we'll talk about, but Jalen Green, 322 yards passing, 6 touchdowns. He looked great. Yeah, what'd you think about the game?
I felt pretty good about the game after it was over. I'm not gonna get super hype. It was Alabama A&M, but the way they finished the second half, finished into the first half, I was pleased with it. It was what I was expecting to see.
Yeah, I thought they played fine. It was almost kind of boring toward the end because it was inevitable. And normally I don't even go to games like that where it's just like foregone conclusion, Hogs are going to win. But it was nice to see the backups come in. They kind of rotated early, which I'll talk about later, but they started rotating guys in early in like middle of the first quarter. And I would have liked to have seen, like for instance, the offensive line, they started moving people in early instead of letting your 5 starters get, at least a couple of drives without, trying to rotate people in. But I get it. They're trying to get people playing time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll go over the first drive. Alabama A&M, of course, we get the ball first. We drive down the field. C.J. Brown had a nice catch. It's kind of a drag route, and he broke a tackle and cut it upfield. It was cool to see him get his first touchdown, after his dad passing away. That was pretty cool. I saw Sam hugging him on the sideline.
Yeah. Everybody was real happy for him.
Yeah. Second drive, they basically go right down the field. It was kind of, it was 7 plays, 75 yards, 3-minute drive. It sucked seeing that, but at the same time, I mean, even regardless of who it is, they had these plays scripted they knew what they were going to run 2 months ago, and they've been working on it. And give them credit, they executed. We had a couple of assignments that, we always talk about that 4th and 5 podcast with DJ Williams, and he was showing, just the communication. Like we were still talking before this ball was even snapped. Like we weren't even ready on a couple of the plays where they're, the linebackers are communicating with the D line and they're wanting them to get in the right gap, and it was just kind of sloppy.
Yeah.
But they drove right down the field and scored. I told Marcus, I was like, yeah, they're going to score right here, and then sure enough, he runs Stephen Diggs over in the end zone for like a 6-yard run.
I don't.
Go ahead. No, you're good.
I don't want to get ahead in the game, but I watched that same 4th and 5 episode, and he's showing all the miscommunications between the linebackers and the D line and the secondary. Just they weren't ready at the time of the snap of the ball, and it's well, yeah, they're gonna those big plays are gonna happen when y'all are confused.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get too far ahead, but then the rest of the game, it felt like they never even got a first down. So clearly they got their communication together, and really I was really impressed with how they played the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Because I thought definitely when they scored that quick, I was like, they're about to score close to 21.
Whenever they, like you're talking about, after that first drive, what I noticed? The most impressive thing I noticed was our DBs were tackling in the open field. I remember one other missed tackle, but they were one-on-one. They were wrapping up, and taking the right angles instead of, whenever. Forget, I think it was maybe when Barry Odom first got here, they were so fast laterally that they were undercutting everything and not taking the right angles, and they are fast out there. So it was good to see them taking the right angles, form tackling, not letting a 3-yard catch or a 6-yard catch turn into a 30, 45
15,
yard.
20.
Yeah.
And I want to say something too. Is just I'm gonna own up to my mistake. I didn't post this online or like shout it out to everybody, but during that first drive, they were throwing at Julian Neal, number 23, a lot. And I was turning to my dad, and I was like, "They got to get this guy off the field." And they've completed like 4 straight passes to him. And then the rest of the game, I was wrong. He's the main guy making all these tackles you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's laying big hits. He looked really good the rest of the game. So
Yeah.
that was me overreacting to the first drive of the first game of the season.
I think a lot of people, even in the crowd, it was like, oh my gosh, because you get the new defensive line you've heard so much about, because that's still my thing is the defensive line. Now, they did have 2 sacks. They had the strip sack fumble. Shout out Quincy Rhodes. I wasn't too thrilled, not thrilled that he was in the starting lineup, but he really hasn't produced anything since he's been here. But it was so good to see him finally get home, make the sack. Justin Boone kind of disappointed me in a way. But I think it's just they just got to figure it out. I mean, it's first game, and to be honest, I mean may not be as athletic as we are, but I was surprised with how big Alabama A&M was up front on both sides. Like they
Yeah,
were our
they had
size.
some big guys.
Yeah.
They had some big guys.
Hmm.
Another D lineman I liked was Lee, number 1.
Hmm.
I liked what I saw from him. He seemed to always be in the mix of like if there's a run play, he was always around it. So
Yep. He
hopefully
he
he can
he
hopefully
looked
he
like
can
he
keep
was
that up.
playing like almost he was playing coverage too, off the
Oh, was it?
end.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was playing he was playing in the flat, and that was
I like that.
he missed one of the at the first drive he was in the game, and he didn't cover the flat, and that's whenever they were all talking, and they hit the little just a little out route to the running back, and it ended up going for like 15 or 16. But he was talking, and then by the time he realized he was supposed to be in coverage, the guy was already behind him.
Yeah.
But we did have a couple questions. Dalton on Facebook asked, "What was your first impression of the defensive line?" Uh, about what I thought it would be. About what I thought it'd be. I wasn't expecting much. They only had 2 sacks against the opponent we played. I'm hoping that they do more. When they get more reps, and hopefully David Oki comes back and he's like a main. He's like a maybe not as good, but like a John Ridgway type of impact from the transfer portal. Someone that can
Hmm.
come in, clog up the defensive line, maybe take some reps off of Cam Ball. So we'll just see.
I'd
I'm
say
really hoping that he does good.
I'd say my first impression and like I mean we already knew that this was going to be a spot that needs to improve on the team, but I'm not trying to be negative, but I wasn't very impressed. Like not I hear what you're saying. I think they'll get better, but like not getting a sack till the third quarter did worry me while I was watching the game. But I do got to take into account like first game jitters and missing a guy or two. So I do think we have guys that'll get it together, but I would have liked to see more domination earlier in the game. But
Yeah, that was my thing too. Is
first game of the season.
and we say that, but in years past, they've had games like this where it's kind of well, and don't get me wrong, they won 52-7. I'm not complaining. A win's a
Yeah.
win, but there were signs, and those signs tend to show up whenever you play better competition if it doesn't get fixed, like the
Hmm.
communication, not getting home. Because our DBs played good, I thought, especially in the second half. But if you're not getting home, I mean, when we'll talk about it, against this Arkansas State quarterback, he may not be SEC, but this kid will make throws that, the Alabama A&M quarterback could not. And
Yeah.
the our corners are only good for 5 or 6 seconds. If you can't get home or at least push him out of the pocket, like the guy was just sitting in the pocket. Now like I said, they got 2 sacks, but he didn't really run the ball.
Hmm.
He wasn't a real scrambling guy, but you know, you got to get some pressures. I think I don't think any of them graded out that well on PFF. Um, so with pressures and all
And
that, Quincy Rhodes probably
another
played the
thing
best.
too is I may be wrong here, but I didn't notice like Travis Williams usually sends a ton of pressure. Like he blitzes a lot. I didn't notice really a lot of blitzing. I could be
Did
wrong, but
some. They did some, and
I
that's
feel like when we play some bigger competition, he's going to send a lot more pressure than he did in that game. I would
yeah,
assume.
yeah. And what I was impressed, Alabama A&M was running some. Now they don't have the athletes to run it, but they were running some complicated stunts, and they were double stunting and bringing delayed blitzes with their linebackers, and it was impressive the plays they were calling, and they were run blitzing, uh, and give it to them. Of course, our offense played great, and we'll talk about the receivers and all that, but defensively, um, definitely a lot you could work on. No, they didn't get just trounced. They gave up 7 points on the first drive of the game and didn't give up anything else. So can't really complain too much. Well, we can find ways to nitpick, especially against teams like
Yeah.
this. So overall, defensively, it was okay. They played good enough for the first game, in my opinion.
They did.
All right. Offensively, we already brought up Taylor Green. He had 6 passing touchdowns. I want to talk about these receivers. And we talked about it in the preseason show. I said Omega Blake, everything out of camp. He's, sounds like he's a superstar, and the guy shows up and just dominates. 7 catches, 121 yards. C.J. Brown had a couple touchdowns. Raylan Sharp had a touchdown. Who is that tight end? He's like the second string tight end.
Oshka.
But yeah, Posca. He had a nice little. He looked like he was like floating in the air in the corner of the end zone when he caught that one ball.
Mm-hmm. Kind of looked like his Mississippi State touchdown last year.
Yeah. I'm excited for the receivers. I mean, I think they have legitimately more depth for sure than last year. Just
They're
depends on if
all
they.
fast.
Yeah.
They're all fast. And they run good routes.
And they all, whenever they catch the ball, they're looking to do something with the ball. Now that could come back to bite you if you try to do too much, and start carrying the ball like a loaf of bread. But they all are looking to do something after they catch the ball. They, Omega Blake, he's breaking, he broke like 3 or 4 tackles on that one play and got, 15, 16 yards after the catch. That is the difference in, well, Andrew last year was good. He was great. He 1,000-yard receiver. But in Tesla, obviously, he's shown out in the NFL. But I just hope that they pass it to more people. And I feel like they're deeper. I'm excited to see what they do. Obviously, they're not going to have 6 passing touchdowns every game, and maybe not again this season. But it was cool to see. Yeah, I felt like this game, because everybody, and we'll talk about the running backs, but a lot of people were like, well, Mike Washington didn't do this, and Braylon Russell, and but I feel like this game, Mike Petrino and Taylor Green and Sam Pittman, they were like, we're going to showcase what we have, because this was kind of a pick your score, pick who you want to score touchdowns, and I feel like they showcase this is what we got at receiver this year, and we're happy to show it off. You know what I mean?
I think another thing too is like, I mean, to me, there was some pass block situations with the running backs.
Yeah.
But the run game looked fine. We could have ran all over him all day if we wanted to.
Yeah.
But also another thing too, like you're saying, it's like you want to show out. Nobody wants to come watch Alabama. We're not Iowa. We're not here to watch you run the ball for 500 yards against Alabama A&M. We want to see some touchdowns. I think they gave it to us. I agree with you on that. I think they were giving us a show.
Yeah, I think, like you said. Now, if we can run 300 yards against Ole Miss, I will watch a slow 26 to
I'd love
6
to.
ball game. Yeah, but like you said, it's Alabama A&M. They ran for almost 5 yards a carry, and like you said, there were pass block issues, especially with the running backs. And we'll talk about the offensive line, but the 2 sacks were from running backs not picking up blitzes, and I hope people realize that. It was against Alabama A&M, but our offensive line was very solid in pass blocking and really in run blocking. The way they were pulling and getting upfield, there was a couple of technique things, but they looked great in my opinion. And whenever it was 5v5 and the line of scrimmage is here, they were right here. Like they weren't getting pushed back at all. The pocket was clean the majority of the time. So I was impressed with that. But yeah, I mean, running backs are going to be fine. You could see the spark with Mike Washington. He almost had that breakaway, and I mean, by a shoestring, he would have had a 40, 50-yard carry in that one. But I was glad that they threw it as much as they did.
Me too. And I mean, I just want to give props to Braylon too. There's a few runs where Braylon was carrying 3 guys on his back. Like it's an easy game. We don't need to overwork those guys. I
Mhm.
agree.
He was getting the ball in the backfield, and there was someone right in front of him, and he would turn a 3-yard loss into, a 3-yard gain, which is 6 yards really a net. Instead of being second
Yeah.
and 13, you're second and 7. But yeah, overall, offensively, as good as you could have did. I mean, no, it's not 70-0. They did have that sack, but we got to see our freshman kicker, 5-star, drill a 53-yarder. And as soon as you can tell whenever you're at a live game and when you see the ball come off a kicker's foot, you know that they have a leg. You know what I mean? It isn't kind of
Mhm.
just floating in the air. I mean, that thing he could have made it from, close to 60, 58, 59. It had a little ways to go on it. So I thought that was cool to
It,
see
it was
him.
beautiful to see.
Yeah.
After the kicking game last year, it was
Oh
beautiful to
my
see.
gosh. Then you think, not his first kick, you don't want him, kicking a 53
Yeah.
yarder, but he did. He made the 53 and then he made 7 extra points. So he did miss. He was 7 for 7 from extra points, which, is tough. Devin Bell, 4 punts, 45-yard average, and 2 inside the 20. I mean, not bad. And some of those were at the end of the game. I know for sure one of them was. Um,
Mhm.
I think the starting offense scored every time, didn't they?
I think they punted once in the first half.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
could be wrong, but I think they did. And then they scored the rest.
Yeah. I want to talk about the offensive line. Um, Kobe Branham, redshirt sophomore, performed the best according to PFF. He scored the highest overall, and that's what I was talking about. They were changing people in and out. They moved to Marion Harris to right guard, pulled Kobe off the field to get Shaq McCoy some reps. And if you take Kobe off the field, your best performing lineman, and Marion Harris, which was your worst starting lineman, and you put him at right guard, and then you take the worst overall that played uh, in the game in Shaq McCroy, he just looked kind of slow. I think he had like 9 pass blocking reps, and he gave up like 4 pressures. He's just slow. He's kind of, he just needs more time. He's young and he's a big dude, but we don't need to move Kobe Branham off the field. If you want to get Shaq McCoy reps, then take Marion Harris off the field. Just in my opinion, I think Kobe played really well. He had that one. He was the only guy that had a penalty on the offensive line. I think he had a holding penalty, and it was actually on Omega Blake touchdown. And then like 2 plays later, Omega Blake scored a touchdown anyways. But he performed the best. He actually had the best run blocking grade. Um, Average on the team. I think he was 3rd in pass blocking. So overall, he had the best. He had the best overall grade. Corey Robinson looked like he was supposed to look. You know what I mean? When you hear about a guy that's,
Mhm.
technique and all that, he performed like as expected or as, the media and everybody and the coaches have told us. Quick first step. He looked good. Of course, Carmona looked fine. He looked, same as he did last year. So I thought they did well. I'm just ready for them to play better competition, so it is a step up this
Yeah.
weekend, but I'm just ready to see what it looks like against better people, you know. What did you think of the offensive line?
I liked everything I saw from the offensive line. I didn't see I mean it's I didn't see anything that made me really worry. Like I thought they did good. I did That's about all I could say. I thought they did good. There was never a moment where I was like, "Oh, we just let like 3 through" or anything. Like they did what they're supposed to do and they run block well.
The one thing
I
I'm
was just
concerned with
happy with them.
is the depth, because you saw it.
Yeah.
I mean, they put one other guy out there, and not that he did terrible, but he's going to get beat by an SEC defensive end. You know what I mean? And we just can't have any injuries. And I know someone's going to have a cramp, or someone's going to have something. It's going to happen with the competition they play and how hard they play.
Yeah.
Um, and what's funny is last uh was it in the spring, they said Shaq was actually playing well. that's the reason why it was a competition. He was playing well, but the hotter it got, the more he fell back. You know what I mean? Just because he's a bigger dude, so he's performed less. So maybe when it gets colder, maybe
He'll be
maybe
back.
maybe he'll be back. So we'll see. But overall, good game. I was happy leaving the stadium. I was like, okay, our offense looks
Yeah.
great. I think they're going to score 40 points a game, hopefully, and the defense hopefully can hold them to about 20, 30 points a game.
Yeah, basically my overall thoughts are the same as I just said for the offensive line. Just good. There was like I said, it was Alabama A&M, so I'm not putting too much stock in it. But the only one that I was like really blown away with would probably be Talon, just because throwing 6 TD passes against anybody is impressive. So
Yep.
I was impressed with that, and then everybody else just did what they were supposed to do. Like we're supposed to win this game like 52-7. Like that's what we should be doing. So
The most
I was just
impressive, well, not really
pleased with it.
impressive because it shouldn't be impressive, but one thing that was an immediate thing that I saw was the first pass play. The guy's running wide open on a drag route, and it isn't who they're playing or anything like that. But Talon, he just looks so confident. I mean, he looks like he's ready to go. He's confident in the pocket. He's standing up tall. He delivers the ball over his shoulder, right on the money, and it's just like those are the throws that you obviously you have to make, but it's just the little things because he was making great, incredible plays last year, tight windows and all that, but he was short on some of those throws, and he did it time and time again. It, after the first play of the game, he was hitting other drag routes and slants and deep posts, and he was just making. He made every throw except like a corner route. He didn't really make a tight window on the sideline or anything like that, but every other ball over the middle, a lot of passes over the middle, which is Bobby Petrino. I mean, he dices you up over the middle, and then they'll send one out, and because it's all about distraction, and then you're like, oh, that guy's behind me. Yeah,
Mixing you up.
yeah.
And I think another thing too, just to go back to what you said about the receivers look really good running after the ball. If he's hitting those drag routes and slants, they're gonna make those. They're gonna make those 6-yard catches, 20-yard catches, 15-yard catches.
Or 70-yard touchdowns.
Yeah, it's
Because
like
if you make in a cover 3 or even man to man, if you throw the ball right and you have a receiver that can A, break a tackle, or B, make a move, there's probably one other person that can make that play. And of course, when you get in the SEC, that player's probably going to make the play. But it's just having the opportunity to do that. Because you had last year, you had Andrew Armstrong catching slants and deep fades. And that was it. That was our offense, and curl routes. We didn't have a lot of these. That's why I was hoping Centennial was the drag route guy, was the deep post guy, was the deep corner out guy. But he made some plays, but you just need the consistency and everybody on defense to have to guard someone. You know what I mean? Not okay. Yeah, we got this guy, but this is their number one over here, so I'm gonna have to cut off this slant route. But yeah, super impressive offense. I'm excited to see, and of course now we'll move into this weekend. Arkansas takes on Arkansas State in Little Rock. It's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a blowout.
I hope so.
All this talk, if it wasn't Arkansas State, we wouldn't even be talking about it. We would be sitting here having a podcast about it, but it's like, the spread's like moving toward not, Arkansas still favored, but it's like the line's like moving back and forth. Like it's all about, it's Arkansas State. It's not about who they actually are. They have a great quarterback or a decent quarterback. They have a really good receiver. They just lost their starting running back to an ACL. They're not that good of a team. Arkansas should absolutely dominate this game. They should win by 3, 4 touchdowns. It shouldn't even be close. And in fact, they should win by 4 or more touchdowns. They should cover in this game. And it should be close. It just shouldn't be close.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It's getting blown out of proportion. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm real excited for this game just because it's never happened before. It's like a new thing. But it's like you said, if it wasn't Arkansas State, it would be like Troy and nobody would care. So it's just,
Yeah.
I think it's getting real blown out of proportion because it's Arkansas State. But I've never like viewed Arkansas State as a rival. It's not like it's Oklahoma State. It's not like a big game. So If this is a close game, I'll be pretty worried. Honestly, it's not like
It
there's
better
nothing
not be
on the
close.
line for any team.
Yeah, well, everything's on the line for Sam Pittman.
For
He's
us,
talked
yeah.
about it. Yeah, I mean, you can't lose. This is a can't lose. This isn't a must win. This is a can't lose game. Number one, you don't even want it to be close because you got to go to Oxford next week. You need to just take care of this game, get your starters out, just like last week. And in fact, I would be so happy if they beat them just like they beat Alabama A&M. It's not going to happen. They're a better ball club, but maybe our defense, plays a little better. Maybe, you just never know. But I like the storylines, and I'm excited to see the game. I think there's going to be a lot of people show up, and I think it's going to be exciting. I think the players are going to be, I think it'll be a great atmosphere and all that. But this game shouldn't be close. It should be over by
No.
halftime. It should be done, and it will be. And I hope, they lose this game, and this is the only time I'll say it. They lose this game, it's over. Season's over. And yes, you can bounce back, but there's one person that can't bounce back
Well,
from it, and
wouldn't
it's
the
Sam
most
Pittman.
Arkansas thing to do is lose this game and then go beat Ole Miss on the road, though? Wouldn't that just
Well, I
be
don't
the
think
most
Sam.
Arkansas thing you
I
can
don't
do?
know if Sam Pittman would be there for that if he did. He can't lose this game.
Uh,
I know they. I know they're
they
probably.
won't. They won't. They won't
I
lose this
know,
game.
but man, I'm
I'm just
telling.
saying. I'm just saying.
I know, but at that point, if you lose this game, why keep? You know what I'm saying? He's going to get fired. They're not going to win 6 games if they lose this game. They're not going to win 6
Yeah.
games. Yeah, if you're being real, they're not gonna. They'll probably lose Ole Miss, probably lose to Notre Dame. They might beat Auburn and Mississippi State, but you know what I mean. You may win 5, even if you win 6 games with a loss to Arkansas State.
Maybe
I
we'll be
don't
like
know.
Notre Dame. We'll go 11-1.
Yeah, like Northern
This is our
Illinois game.
Northern Illinois.
Yeah, it's
No,
not gonna be.
they shouldn't lose this game, and they
Yeah,
won't lose this game. I'll say that.
yeah, they're not
They
losing
won't.
this game. I'm just as confident as last weekend when we went to the game is in this one. They're going to win. It's more exciting because, there's going to be more people. And, well, there'll probably be about the same amount of people, but it's going to be a packed stadium. Hopefully, they got plenty of water and all the toilets are working and the scoreboard works and all
Scoreboard's
that. But
working.
I'm
They're able to scan tickets,
yeah,
hopefully.
yeah. I'm
All the
excited
things that make a
for
football game.
I'm excited for the team to get to play in that atmosphere because War Memorial hasn't been packed like it's going to be in a long time. So those Little Rock fans haven't had that opportunity for that moment, that game. They haven't really had a big game. Of course, this isn't really a big game. It's just the storylines and, whatever. But I'm excited for the game. I think it's going to be fun. It should be fun for about, a quarter and a half. And hopefully fun for about a quarter and a half. But yeah, and like I was talking about, they have this quarterback Rayner 3 touchdowns, like 350 yards last week. They played SEMO, not a great team. I mean, it is what it is, not a great team. But he will be a challenge to our defensive line, and maybe not to our DBs necessarily, but he's going to be able to move around a little bit better than Alabama A&M's quarterback. He's more experienced. So I like that we're stepping up in competition, and they're going to get to see a different look and a more experienced guy that has reps. I think he's a 3-year returning starter. So yeah, it should be fun. What do you think
I like
about
to
the?
use
Go ahead.
I like to use Rayner on college football.
Yeah.
EA college football. He's fun to use.
um, but
But
yeah, I
I
mean,
think once you shut down him and that top receiver, I think you shouldn't really have much to worry about. That's just my opinion.
yeah, it shouldn't be. This game shouldn't be close, and it won't be close. Won't be close.
You just got to contain him, not let him run wild on you, and you should be fine.
Yep. And I think this should be, like I said, a step up, and maybe the team can maybe figure out some communication issues. Maybe they've addressed them this week, and they can practice, or they can what they worked on in practice. They have another opportunity to kind of go out there, showcase what they have. It's tune up to a tune up
Mhm.
to the real deal
SEC play.
next weekend on the road. So they better show up, get it taken care of, stay healthy, get it taken care of, and get ready for next weekend because that is going to be, a game which I'm excited for. But one game at a time. Um,
Yep. And
Yeah,
I'll be watching the Ole Miss Kentucky game. I need to see what happens in that
yeah.
game.
What time is that game? Let's see.
I think it's 2:30. I think.
Okay, real quick. Let's go over some games this weekend. Oh, tonight, Chiefs Chargers. Who do you got?
Brazil. I got the Chiefs.
I got the Chargers.
Also, I need to go on a rant. I don't like the Brazil game for a divisional matchup because now only one team gets a home game.
I'll
I
be
don't like
curious
that.
to see what that field looks like. Last year, it was an absolute disaster. You remember, like the turf and the grass, and it looked horrible. Worse than the
Yeah, I
Ireland
remember
field.
that.
Worse than the Dublin field, where you couldn't even see the lines.
Where
Okay.
it rained for like 2 days and all the paint went away.
Yep. Okay. You got Iowa State this weekend, 11 a.m. Who you got?
Iowa State. Actually, no. I got Iowa.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say Iowa because Iowa State's ranked number 16. You think they're the 16th best team in the country? They beat a Kansas
No.
State team who couldn't do it. They forgot how to. Avery Johnson forgot to play quarterback apparently. Yeah, I got Iowa. SMU Baylor. I'm kind of excited about that one. Baylor played okay against Auburn, but I like SMU. I kind of silently root for them. It's kind of like a silent team that I always kind of watch, and I think they're going to do. That'll be a team in 4 or 5 years if NIL continues to grow. That'll be a team
It'll be
people need
good.
to watch. Yeah, they're going to be good.
I got SMU for that one as well.
Yeah.
I like their quarterback.
So you said Arkansas this weekend, right?
Yep.
You got Arkansas. Okay. Missouri, Kansas, 2:30 ESPN2.
I want to take Kansas so bad.
Me too.
But I don't know if they'll do it. I'm still going to take them.
Let's see. There's really not a lot of great games this weekend. North Carolina, Charlotte. You think North Carolina can get a win on the board?
I think they'll lose. I think they'll lose to Charlotte.
Dude, if they lose, they're paying Bill Belichick $10 million a year. They better get that win. You know, Hulu's doing that documentary.
I'll still take Charlotte.
Army, Kansas State. I'll take the under in that game. The over-under is 47.5.
I might have to get in on that.
My goodness. Kansas State favored by 17.5. 47. Army may score 17. And Michigan OU. I forgot about that game this weekend. 6:30. Michigan
I'm
OU.
taking the over, no doubt.
44.5. Is it supposed to rain?
And I think the over.
No, I'm saying is it supposed to rain in Norman tomorrow? I would be looking at that.
I got no idea. I'm still taking the over, and I'd take Michigan. I like Underwood.
Yeah, I'll take Michigan too.
I think Underwood is already ready for the NFL. He's my guy.
For Mississippi State host number 12 Arizona State. Mississippi State may be horrible, but they do have a home game. The Cowbells are going to be dinging.
And I don't like the Arizona State coach has been talking trash about the whole state of Mississippi. Basically, I don't like that.
How are they number 12?
Because Cam Scatterbo.
He's not even on the team. What are we doing? We take Florida State out of the playoff because their quarterback gets hurt, and they still rank Arizona State number 12th best team in the country? Who they beat?
They still got a good quarterback and a good receiver, but I don't know what else they got besides that.
They beat Northern Arizona.
Mississippi State's going to beat them. I'm calling.
You think? Oh, my God.
I think they'll beat them. The Cowbells, they won't know what to do.
Okay, so we got OU, Michigan, Alabama, UL Monroe in Tuscaloosa. I'll take them to cover 35.5.
I like that. I'll take Louisiana Monroe to cover. They're not beating Alabama.
No, they're not beating Alabama. No matter how much people in the SEC would love to see. Tuscaloosa's been on fire all week.
I think people are just underrating how good Florida State might actually be this year too.
Yeah, but I
think they might be decent.
Alabama just looks slow.
They did. They don't look good. I don't think they'll be like a playoff team, honestly.
No, they're definitely not going to be no playoff team. They may still win 9 games, but that's a step down. I mean, better than Arkansas, but compared to where you are used to seeing Alabama, that team, I mean.
Did you see the post about the last time Alabama was ranked in the 20s?
Yeah,
George Bush was president. Rihanna Disturbia was like the #1 song in America.
Wow.
So we were like
That's
in middle
crazy.
school the last time they were in the 20s.
All right. I mean, we can do, if you want to do, maybe we'll do 2 games in the NFL. We're not going to talk about last night. But the one I definitely want to ask you about isn't it Bills Ravens Sunday night?
I got Bills.
You got the Bills.
Josh Allen, baby.
It is in Buffalo. And then Lions Packers.
I'll take Lions.
I got the Packers and the Bills. Packers and the Bills. All right. Well, that is
I
going
hope Micah Parsons gets pancaked 50 times.
to. Oh, Micah Oh, yeah. I
just
forgot.
kidding.
Let me
I'm just
get.
kidding. I still love you, Micah. I just
let me-
wish you were here.
Let me take the Lions. Let me take the Lions. No, I'm kidding. No, I will take the
I
Packers.
miss him already.
My dad's team.
I miss him already.
Micah, come back. You're never coming back. Maybe he'll come back after his contract's up. You know, maybe it'll be like he'll come back.
Maybe we'll get retirement tour when he's like 33.
Yeah, we'll get like DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons. He just makes that one sack when we're finally, in a playoff game when he first comes back, and he's just like, he only has 1 sack in 6 playoff games.
Yeah.
That is crazy to me. But he does make an impact. I'm not saying that.
To be fair to Micah, not many other players on the Cowboys show up in the playoffs either, so can't just blame him.
Yeah, the whole defense doesn't show up. Okay, that's gonna do it for episode number 6. Covering week 2, Arkansas versus Arkansas State, and week 1 review. We will be back. We might do a live tomorrow for 20-30 minutes before the game. We will see how tomorrow morning goes. But yeah, y'all take it easy. Thanks for all the support. Like, comment, share. Subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
See ya.